Before watching the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on some amazing content from the Spotlight.
Hello guys and welcome to the yet another episode of the Entrepreneur Talks. Philip Kotler said, the aim for marketing is to reduce the need for selling. And today we have with us one such person who not only believes in power of marketing but also comes up with unique perspectives time and again in a very competitive and dynamic industry. We have with us the founder of Prinkit.in, Mr. Prinkit Patel. Hello Prinkit.
Hi.
First of all, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talks. And how are you?
I am good and I'm also very excited to be in this conversation with you. You have already and also been doing a lot of things. So it's an honor to have a conversation with you.
Same man, same. So how was your one last year and how it changed you?
So last year was very interesting because I am also in the initial days of this business. I have been constantly realizing the need of a lot of things that I need to learn personally and professionally, and I am developing all of those things day by day, and I see myself and our organization getting better.
Right. So my first question to you is that how did the idea of Prinkit came to your mind and what's the story behind it?
So in early days of my life, when I just completed my 12th, I started an NGO, and the goal of that organization was to impart education to every doorstep of our country. So that was the goal of that organization.
What's the name of organization?
The name of the organization is Change Vadodara Campaign. And while I had that vision, while I also had that enough necessary skills, I found it very challenging to actually involve people into doing that. While I was under that situation, I realized that a lot of other entrepreneurs who have a very amazing product which is solution to a lot of problems in market. And for an entrepreneur, it is not just a product. It is their effort of sweat, blood, hard work and a lot of sacrifice. And they feel that this is something amazing and the world needs it. And once they make it, the next step is to making it reach, which is very tough for an entrepreneur because he is an innovator, not a salesperson. And I could see that gap, and I somehow emotionally connected with that gap, that no one in this world, if he makes a good product, it deserves to be sold, so that he gets that courage and confidence to come up with another product, and that system should keep on going. And that is when I realized that there is need of something, and that is how Prinkit.in came into existence.
So in which year you started Prinkit.in?
So I started Prinkit.in when I was in third year of my graduation college, and it was my third year, that is 6th sem exams were going on, and a day before exam I actually thought that no, this is what I'm going to do, and I also made a website on the same day, and I consider that as the starting of this organization.
Right. So like you also said that in one of your interview that there are lots of digital marketing agencies, and if you throw one stone on any terrace in our city, you will find one digital marketing agency there. So it is kind of a competitive industry. So how Prinkit.in is different than other digital marketing agency or so-called social media marketing agencies?
So this is a very interesting thing. See, what happens is, this is actually, digital marketing is not an established industry.
Right.
This is an evolving industry which is in the initial days of it.
Especially in Gujarat.
So before anything gets organized, like HR, here also there is a process as in phases. First is forming, then storming, then norming, and then performing. So when a new industry comes into existence, that is when an industry, the sector itself gets formed. So that is the first phase.
That is storming.
Forming.
Okay.
Right. And the second phase is storming. Storming is basically things are that but are very turbulent. There is no process, there is no planning, there is uncertainty, there are no definitions, there are no standardizations. So basically, currently, I feel we are in that phase as an industry, as a digital marketing industry in Gujarat, and also to some extent in India. So here, a lot of digital marketing is a solution for entrepreneurs who are wanting to increase sales. But here, neither the one who is delivering the solution knows what the actual solution, what actual digital marketing is. Neither who is getting the service knows what actual digital marketing is.
True.
So currently the industry is in that phase. I am talking about the major segment,
Yes.
right? After storming comes norming. Norming is a phase when things start getting normal. When the one who does not know how to deliver solution eventually gets exhausted and gets out of the race, right? The one who knows how things work gets funded, gets growth, funded not necessarily by investor, also by clients, and grows, right? And then there is performing phase, right? So currently, answer to your question, major market of buyer and seller, of consumer and the one who is going to deliver, major, I mean around 85-90% of the market is in storming phase, right? And Prinkit.in is currently in performing phase. So because of this, we never felt competition, right? What happens is, we also never felt the need of marketing, because the one who gets the impact of storming and wants and pushes himself to norming, and he gets to know what actual digital marketing is, he searches and then he eventually comes to the one who is performing, right? So basically, we do not have to market ourselves. We are already in a performing phase, and that is what that separates us from the entire industry.
That's so true. So when we talked before, you talked about your morning routine, which I really like. So if you could share the same with our audience, it would be really great.
So I have this habit of weaponizing self before starting the day. So getting weaponized to go ahead for the day. So what does getting weaponized mean? So I basically, in morning, before I start my day starts at 9:30, right? So before my day starts, I weaponize myself. So I wake up at 4, these days 3:45, and then I do 4 things. There is body, being, balance, and business. Body is basically your body. You have to take care of your body. So to do that, I go to run. I run around 5-6 kilometers a day on a normal day, and on rare days I run more than that. Being is basically building connect with self. Being able to respond to situations and not react, right? Having control of our actions. In order to do that, I do meditation for some time. Then comes balance. Balance means relationships. Your relationship with your mother, your relationship with your father, sister, your relationship with your friends, life partner. You have to prioritize people. You have to build an inner circle of people, right? And before I start my day, I share some content. It can be in the form of an audio, it can be in the form of a video, it can be a self-created content, just so that these people who are very important to me feel honored, respected, and loved, right? That is balance. And fourth thing before I start my day is business. Here business means has 2 things, which is discover and declare. Basically, discover means finding something new for my business, for something that I'm doing, which is maybe in my case a new ad campaign, which is maybe studying a case study of a successful advertisement, which is maybe knowing a new marketing concept. And declare means to share it with the one who has relevance to that topic. So these are the 4 things. I feel that if you do all these 4 things before you actually start your day, you feel very powerful.
So like how digital marketing works, so there are some misconceptions and myths about it among general people. So how digital marketing works, if you if you have to explain it to a layman, what is digital marketing and how it works. So can you
Okay.
explain it?
See, first of all, if a layman wants to understand, digital marketing is an extension of marketing. That should not be forgotten, right? It is just one way of doing marketing.
It's one channel.
Yeah, which is performing well. So people are shifting their 80 to 90% of their marketing budgets and thoughts over there.
Okay.
But it is just a form of marketing,
Right.
right? A buyer journey, if we see it psychologically, considers four main phases: awareness, interest, desire, and action. Every probable buyer passes through all those four phases,
Right.
right? Depending upon the product, depending upon the buyer, these phases are long, short, even, uneven. The role of marketing is to influence this buying journey. So interesting thing here is awareness and interest. Awareness is basically when you let me give you an example. Let us say someone today, right now, must be giving a check for a car, right now. His buying journey must have started long back.
When
Right.
you searched about a car,
Yeah.
what car,
Why did he search? That is the intermediate phase of a buying journey. When he realized that I need a car, imagine he might be traveling by a two-wheeler and someone splashed water on him because of monsoon, and he realized they are car person. So that is the awareness phase, right? So that in awareness phase you start noticing things. In interest phase you start developing desire for that. You start taking interest. You start asking people, भाई ये कौन सा मॉडल है, ये कितने की कार है, right? In desire phase you start shortlisting options. Till awareness and interest, you did not go to the seller, right? After desire, in desire and action phase, you go actually approach someone. You fill form for a lead. You walk in to a showroom, and then action. But in conventional marketing, a seller only gets to know about a probable buyer during desire phase, right? Because he walks in. When someone is in desire phase, he is considered as a hot lead, right? Which is only 3% of the market, right? The major market is in awareness and interest phase, which hoarding cannot trace, right? But digital marketing can, right? So digital marketing is reaching your probable buyer when his buying journey starts, way ahead of the desire phase, way ahead of your competition, even before he knows the solution. So it is one myth. Digital marketing is all about posting and boosting. When I started this business, when I got into this industry, people used to call me, I want to do marketing, and then when I go, they ask me, kitni post karoge? I'll tell, sir, mahine ki 15, and then they say, okay. And then they call me on, let us say Ganesh Chaturthi, and they ask ki Ganesh Chaturthi ki post do. They call me on lipstick day and they ask ki lipstick day ki post do. So it has no relevance with the actual goal of marketing, which is influencing the buyer's journey. Posting and boosting has no relevance with actual digital marketing. This is the biggest myth.
Right. So that's the reason why I asked you this question, that there are lots of misconceptions about that. We will post something, we will
True.
boost it, we will promote it, and then we will get the leads.
Exactly.
But it is kind of a myth, that's why I asked you. So coming back to your entrepreneurial journey, you started Change Vadodara campaign CVC while you were in college. Then after that you started your badge wala business along with that.
Yes.
And during your final year, you started Prinkit.in.
True.
Simultaneously doing your engineering study.
True.
So kind of you are doing 4 things at one time.
True.
So lot of young people like me also find time management very difficult. So what is the kind of advice you want to give to the people who want to manage their time in a better way?
Okay. To my view, when someone finds time management difficult, firstly, that is not the problem. That is the outcome of a bigger problem, which is not having a strong desire to do something. See, when I was in my second year or third year, I was already, generating revenue, a lot of revenue. And then when I go to college, and I ask someone in my college, they say यार 80% अटेंडेंस है, पूरी क्रिएटिविटी मार देती है कॉलेज, 80% अटेंडेंस नहीं आई तो कॉलेज में से निकाल देंगे. So when in early days of my college, when I used to deliver seminars in different colleges, people used to ask me कि कॉलेज में 80% अटेंडेंस करनी होती है, कैसे कुछ करेंगे, क्रिएटिविटी मार देते कॉलेज. बट सी दैट इज नॉट द थिंग. Actual problem is not time management. It is having a very strong desire to do something. The moment you have that desire, you would automatically think of managing your time. And the moment you think of managing your time, you will find enough resources from your environment only. For example, you saw me using Google Calendar and you implemented it, right? Hundreds of people see me doing that, but only 1 or 2 implement that. So you have a strong desire, and you will automatically find ways to manage time, right? Which is easily possible. The real problem is not managing time, it is in developing or finding your strong desire so that time management becomes a choice.
Now coming back to the marketing topic, like what I see after COVID, after pandemic especially, and before that also, that storytelling is becoming an integral part of the marketing. So do you think is storytelling becoming an integral part of marketing, more so in digital marketing?
See, let us actually try to see the actual purpose behind storytelling. Why do people tell stories and sell things? Let us go beyond that, beyond stories. One important, if I want you to make a purchase, then initially you will be skeptical, right, about my service or for any product, and slowly you will start building trust, and the moment you trust my product or service, then you will make a purchase. So one goal of marketing is to build trust, right? So there is also a formula for building trust, which is trust is equal to character plus competence. So here character of an organization and competence is the capability. If we go deeper into character, it is intent and integrity. Someone's intention and his integrity forms character of an organization. And competence has to do with capabilities and track record. So basically, if we replace this in the actual formula, trust is intent plus integrity plus capability plus track record. So now storytelling is a good way to do most of these things in one way, in one shot itself. But then storytelling is not an integral part of marketing. It is building trust that is integral part of marketing. And storytelling is just one efficient tool to do that, right? Imagine a world wherein every brand is marketing itself by stories. That won't be fascinating, right? So people have to keep on coming up with new tools with a goal to build trust. So storytelling is one proven good way of building trust, but that is not the only way. And because storytelling is just a way to build trust, for marketing, for me, trust is the integral part and not storytelling.
Right. Beautifully explained. So my next question to you is that what is that your one personal habit that helped you in your professional life, and what is your one professional life habit, like in your business habit, that helped you in your personal life?
Okay.
Can you just skip?
So after 1 year of starting this business, I came across 2 habits which are very helpful. One personal habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood, which means that you try to understand samne wala before you actually expect them to understand you. So now this is personal habit, but has brought radical change to the business idea, right? People feel that he is understanding me. People feel that he'll understand our situation, and as a result, our business grows, right? So this is a interpersonal habit. Another is think win-win. So which is a business, which is a ready, which, for example, if we do any business collaboration, if we hire a vendor or an agency, any business decision we do, earlier I used to see our benefit कि किसमें ज़्यादा benefit अपना है. right? And then now we see win-win situations, right? So that also gives a very relaxed feeling, because if the entire business is based on win-win situations between employee and company, between company and clients, between everyone, then you feel relaxed. You do not fear कि कोई unknown number से call आएगा और क्या होगा. So that fear never comes because of this. So that has helped me personally a lot. So these are the two habits.
So coming to the last question of this interview, so what's the one advice you want to give to an budding entrepreneur and or entrepreneurs who want to come into this industry, digital marketing? What's the one advice you want to give to them?
See, over the years, I have also worked as startup mentor for GTU, for a lot of organizations. I meet a lot of startups. So one thing that I feel everyone should implement is something said by Swami Vivekananda, which is think big, start small and act now. So this is very important. This is not just about motivation, it is also management. That what happens is, every budding entrepreneur, when he thinks कि भाई अपने को startup करना है, so what happens is, see, for example, if someone wants to start an app, right, or someone wants to become an architect, तो वो लोग क्या करेंगे कि यार अपने को तो खुद कुछ अपना करना है. And then before starting, instead of starting small and then taking the first step, they start manifesting कि मेरा आर्किटेक्ट में बनूंगी तो मेरे में इतने एम्प्लॉयज होंगे, मैं ऐसा कर रहे होंगे, मैं ऐसा कर रहे होंगे, ऐसा कर रहे होंगे, ऐसा कर रहे होंगे. So as a result, they need a lot of resources which they do not have. So they just procrastinate, they just remain in indecision and they end up doing job, right? So think big, but the moment you have that bigger picture, don't get into it. You start small. If I want to,
take those tiny steps.
Yes, take the first step. If I want to become a big architect, what is the first thing I'll have to do? Right? And just do that. It can be in the form of a call, it can be in the form of a meeting, it can be in the form of going to meet someone and pitch. And you have to start now, right? I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs just thinking big, and they think so big that they fear starting it. And then they think big and बूढ़े होके बोलेंगे कि मैंने ऐसा सोचा था, ऐसा. So this is one thing I tell to everyone.
Right. So thank you so much. It was great pleasure talking with you, and I hope our audience will get some insight from this interview, and I hope you achieve your Fortune 500 company goal, man, because I seen you and I saw something that spark in you is very real, and I think that you can lead 1,000, 2,000 people. So best of luck for that. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to our channel, because we are bringing more and more good entrepreneurs, new innovative entrepreneurs for Entrepreneur Talks. And please share this video. Pinkit, can you please tell the audience?
Yeah, please. This is a very big step Utsav and his team are taking to help entrepreneurs. So do like, comment and subscribe. One more thing I would like to tell. If you feel that you have a very good idea and want some help, get in touch with Utsav's team. And if their team qualifies it, I and my company will help them, in building their strategies and everything without any cost. So please get in touch with Utsav, and whatever ideas Utsav qualifies, we'll also like to contribute by doing this for them for free. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. And lastly, I want to thank Size Zero Cafe and Ritik Srivastav for providing us this place for shooting.